Alright guys, it's the semi-final best of 5 match here between the Primo Korean Terran. I was going to call him a Korean Karen, but it's a Korean Terran. This is Shopify Rebellion's BYUN 2016 World Champion. Little does he know though, that his opponent's built a gateway outside his base. That's right, the famous MAXPAX build coming out of Storm Gaming's MAXPAX. Now, BYUN scouts in here and says, I've seen the Nexus, but where the heck is your gateway? And he immediately says, no, don't put the command center down. He's about to put it down. Luckily, he didn't have to cancel it. He just runs back, builds it on the high ground, and that Reaper is going to go Zealot hunting right now. The Barracks moving over to complete the wall off. Oh, he's actually not going Zealot hunting. So the Reaper says, screw it, I've got a wall off. Why would I bother? As long as I get the bunker up before a Stalker can get out. And guess what? Cybercore's not ready. Stalker can't build. What have you got to defend?
The Bezos box.
Nothing at home, and you can't even start a shield battery. So BYUN saying, yes, I'll have to repair my wall. Yes, this is annoying. You know what's more annoying? All your probes die into the Reaper. Shield battery will be able to defend this in 29 seconds, but that's a while away, and already a probe has died. The SCV gets a few extra hits in there. The SCV almost completes the kill, but the probes do take it out. And look how much mining time is being lost here by MAXPAX. So BYUN here, just playing the player so well with that early scout and reacting so clean and so darned well. Look at that, 3-4 probes go down, so much mining time. Bunkers up, Stalker cannot run onto that ramp or it will take damage. Now that the battery's up, that will buy a bit of time, but I mean, he doesn't have a unit to defend still, so what's he going to do? Does he recall the Stalker? The Reaper can just hang out here and kill probes that pop out. Look, he has to cancel probes on his natural does MAXPAX because he knows they'll get caught by the Reaper. So the Reaper here is really screwing MAXPAX up, and he's just going to run a Stalker home. A disastrous opening, I would say, for MAXPAX. He really wanted to throw off BYUN's build. All he's done is force BYUN to build this on the high ground. Now, BYUN is over-microing his Reaper, needs to get that orbital morphing. He's chucking a bit of a pig here. I think he's just surprised there was no probes hiding, so he's looking around. He's going, what are you doing? Sees the Stargate at this point, still has not made the orbital. BYUN, what is going on, mate? That's a big mistake. I think he's unsure about what MAXPAX is doing, and because he didn't see the Stalker come home, he was freaking out a little bit. As it is, he's just going to trade that Reaper out now. It will die, but it gets a kill, so not too bad. 5 kills in total for a Reaper. Very worth it. And he still hasn't got the orbital command. Missing out on a couple mules here. Definitely a mistake here, which will cost him in the follow-up. He's going to go for a Widowmine drop behind it. But look at that. MAXPAX out of position. And the Widowmine's able to secure the natural expand. Does BYUN move down and get a bunker? We'll find out shortly. Big thank you, Big Angry Dad, for the 12-month resub. 1 year of a Big Angry Dad. I like it. Chrono boosting the probes, trying to recover from this massively delayed mining on the natural expand. I wonder if MAXPAX also risks getting a quick third base, or does he think that's a bit too much? Look at this, the drop comes out, doesn't get spotted yet, but there we go. Phoenix changes path, catches the dropship. Marines will be able to chase the Phoenix off, but he already takes a lot of damage on it. And look at that, he's going to try and hide behind the Widowmine. So this is what you do, is you boost away, and then you change direction. So as MAXPAX, you don't know if that drop's going down the right side of the map or not. But MAXPAX, I said, will he rush a fast third and be super greedy to try and recover? He will. Look at that, guys. He doesn't have a gateway. He's literally only got one gateway. It's on the other side of the map, one Stargate. And yet, despite that, he drops a third Nexus. This is MAXPAX saying, look, I really don't like how the start of this game went. I'm going to try and get control with this bare minimum number of units. Couple Zealots, couple Stalkers, couple Phoenix roaming the map. And we'll see what I can do from there. Now, he's at 4 Phoenix, and he's going Twilight. This pretty much has to be charge, because if he goes Blink off the back of this, he's got 2 units that are good for kind of map control and harassment, Blink, Stalkers, and Phoenix. Neither of those is good in a head-to-head fight. So if he goes Blink first, he's going to run into 3 racks, Marines, Marauders, Stim, Shields, Medevacs, +1 attack, and he's going to go, I have Stalkers and Phoenix. And none of those is just good enough for their cost. It's straight up brawling. And that's why we expect to see Zealot Phoenix. I keep saying it because there's a part of me that doubts, because MAXPAX is a wild one. There's like a small part of me that's like, well, I've seen players try to do it in this scenario. They're like, no, I can make Blink work off the back of Phoenix. And I'm like, it's a crazy thing to do. MAXPAX is not crazy. He's very smart. He's very logical. Plays his own version of StarCraft, but definitely does make a lot of sense there now. He's got 2 mineral lines up, 3 gases, and he's just going to chrono up for that 3rd mineral line. Trying to chrono his charge, most importantly. We'll see if he drops another one on that. And 3 more gateways coming in. We'll bring him up to about 6 gateways. Remember, though, one of these exposed on the map, very likely to go down early on. Forge is there. No third command center started just yet. There are 2 Widow Mines there, which of course could do big damage. Remember, a Widow Mine does, I think it's, how much is it? 160 damage to Protoss units, and a Phoenix has 180. So barely survives 1 Widow Mine, but you get a splash damage in there as well, and boom, boom. So if you have 2 Widow Mines here, it should kill 2 of the Phoenix and put the other ones down quite low. Well, not quite low, but definitely bruised. Now, still haven't cleared up the gateway, BYUN. BYUN, you got to hunt that gateway down, mate. You know it's out there. You might forget how this game started just because there's been so much going on, but you should always clear that gateway. So this is a big mistake for BYUN to not move out and clear that up. I mean, it's still a big, scary push. He's got a bunker. He doesn't have a full wall, but doesn't necessarily need it. And MAXPAX, remember, had a bad start. The early game was so good for BYUN this game. That Reaper across the map was a great move. Ooh-wee. I've always thought that Reaper is a great idea, and Zealots go to come in, but seeing a bunker, he says, nah, let's just pull home and defend this army. And Sentry's shield battery is out there. Tries to force field, actually traps quite a few of the Zealots. Widow Mines don't get the greatest hits. Phoenix fly in over the top, but he's got to pull back. Doesn't quite have the numbers. Watch out, those Zealots from behind aren't going to do too well. Look at that, BYUN pulls back and finds him, but MAXPAX with a quick reaction. What people joke about is Zealot A moves, but MAXPAX actually has, him and Zest are so masterful at running their Zealots around and only fighting when the Terran does not want to fight them. Otherwise, they just slip away whenever the Terran wants some free pickoffs. BYUN, though, leading in the supply count significantly. And that's huge, because there's no real worker advantage. This base will be saturated as soon as he moves his workers out from his natural expand, and you can see he's doing that now. Phoenix, did he lose any Phoenix yet? No Phoenix have gone down yet, so, I mean, it's not too cost inefficient in that regard, but I mean, he just hasn't killed any of the Terran stuff. BYUN, it's looking great right now. That pylon very exposed. Now that shield battery is still being taken there. Great first Widow Mine though, hit all the Zealots and all the Phoenix. That was a big, beautiful splashy. Battery overcharge has to go down just to top these units up. And he does do just that. Beats him back for now. Is it time for another Zealot run by? It might be for MAXPAX. I don't know if he can really take good trades on the front. The way the bio can just start a step backwards versus both the Phoenix and the Zealots is very powerful. Phoenix coming on. Oh no! 1, 2, 3 Phoenix go down, and oh, it looks like he thought BYUN had backed off there, but he's gonna try and take the Widow Mines onto his face. A quick burrow, unburrow from BYUN to avoid the Widow Mines friendly firing. Fantastic micro by him. You can see some of them got picked up and taken out, but look, he reburrows those last 2 Widow Mines, starts to land some hits on the Protoss army, cleans him up. MAXPAX here, opening up with his trademark build order. It's rare that he does it in game 1, but it was a good idea because BYUN does not like to scout at all in any matchup. He shows great understanding of his opponent to mix it up. BYUN does the unexpected, plays against his image, opens up with a scout, gets the advantage early, and gets game 1 in the pocket. Oh, after that game, we've already got apologists in chat saying, yo, it's 4 AM in Denmark. He can't play his A game. Guys, MAXPAX is 17 years old. He does not care what time it is. He plays exceptionally right up to 7, 8, 9 AM in the morning. And for those who don't know, past dinner time, he does not eat. When asked about his snacks, he says, I eat 1 banana. That's all I will eat if I have to eat food to keep my energy up while I'm performing late at night. The real question is not, oh, is he tired? The question is, did he forget to eat his banana? Whenever you see MAXPAX lose a game, that's the only thing you should have on your mind, fans. Rep and Storm Gaming, of course. His opponent, though, down in the bottom right, Shopify Rebellion's BYUN. A great scout in game 1, and a return to more normal moves for BYUN, I think, with this. He's actually still scouting. I was going to say a return to not scouting, but no, he's going to scout. I think this one gets there, though, after you put the command center down. I think he scouted slightly quicker in that last game. We'll find out in a moment. Does that get there in 20 seconds? I'm feeling like it does, actually. And looks like he's going to actually mine open the minerals, maybe? No, he's not. He doesn't want to open up a quick path. And it is a Reaper expand. So, yeah, look at this, guys. Once again, he's timed it out to see what's going on. Sees the Nexus. I mean, that doesn't tell him too much, though. That doesn't tell him too much. And he gets in the main. He's not putting the command center down. He wants to confirm. Now he sees there's a gateway. Then he puts the command center down. So he actually delayed his command center. just in case there was the same build coming out again. But realistically, I'm a little surprised. MAXPAX doesn't ever do that build twice in a series. He'll bring it out once, usually game 3 or game 4 in a best of 5. Game 2 often in a best of 3. But I mean, he doesn't even do it every series, right? Even though it's called the MAXPAX, it's not something he does every game by any means or every series. So little surprised BYUN played safe against it, but just cautious play for him. Reaper will come in, and the Adept actually shaded out. It completed the shade, so MAXPAX gonna have to be careful. Oh, good probe micro so far, though. Very good probe micro, even better Reaper micro. BYUN gets a kill. He gets a second one. He will lose his Reaper for that. Should do. Thank you, the Swiss. Really appreciate the support there, mate. And actually, on this map, you've got a very easy path out because you've got that jumping path. Oh, okay. Getting 2 probes seemed like an amazing start, but the Marauders get scouted, which means Concussive Shell ain't going to do jack. Adept gets out of there. Does delay the command center by just a moment there, which is good. So I would say this is a pretty even trade. Now, if the Reaper could get back in and see the tech, that would be great. And it's going to... Adept is already shading to try and close the distance. MAXPAX not quite on top of it. There we go. Good pullback on that probe. And the other probe, Citizen's Arrest. They chew that Reaper to pieces. He'd been hunting them for a while, and they finally get their revenge. Beware a soft-spoken probe, guys. It's not always the guys that are large, beating their chest, telling you better fucking watch yourself, bro. They're not always the ones you have to watch out for. It's the quiet ones that you gotta watch out for. The ones that plot and wait and bide their time. Sorry guys, scoreboard wrong, as per usual. Some people are... some people have short memories, other people just tuning in there, so we fix that one up. I feel like I always get it right, and then I flip the scoreboard. I always set the score, then I flip the scoreboard to the correct player position. Oh, it's not a good fight for MAXPAX. Get out of there, bro. But, wait a second, there's so little damage. There's only 2 Marauders. These SCVs looking very exposed right now. Marauders don't take a lot of damage from Adepts, but they don't kill them quickly either. And the Adept pressure just shading across the map. This is the beyond. This is the parting build minus. Oh, he actually could have finished that. 5 Adepts would have killed that Widowmine. He could have let that shade finish. That would have been a big trigger point for BYUN, who has to do a supply drop right now. He's losing a ton of mining time. Wouldn't mind him moving the Widowmine over here and just hoping that MAXPAX stumbles into it. The Stalker's coming at the front as well. And he's going to go for a Widowmine drop across the map. Depth's coming in. He should just focus these SCVs down. SCVs should not really be fighting right now. Stalkers poke in on the natural. Time to get out. Okay, yep, time to get out. He's taking a bit too much damage. These Adepts aren't the greatest unit later on, but you can see it's time to leave. Take out a few Marines there, and with all the mining time they've taken out, I think this is still a completely fine opening. BYUN did panic F2 and pulled that medevac home. If that was already dropping right now, that would be splendid, but definitely took a bit too long to do it. Now MAXPAX probe taking the 3rd base might also spot this. Let's go to MAXPAX vision. You're going to see he sees it for a moment. He does glimpse it. He glimpses it. Should get some damage done. Moves the Stalkers, gets 4 shots off. It does take 9 shots from Stalkers to kill a medevac. And, oh, gets the Stalker. A bit slow on the blink there from MAXPAX. Tries to bait out the Widowmine, ends up messing it up. And great micro by BYUN. He's trying to maximize the lost mining time, but the medevac hangs around a little bit too long. And this gets a bit too fancy as well. That Widowmine does go down. The bio in the middle of the map, acting as a bit of a distraction, wasn't able to pull his attention away. If those guys had managed to move in, maybe kill the probe rally or a pylon and then get out of there during all that would have been great. But as the dust settles, worker count looks really good for BYUN. The units lost tab definitely looks better for MAXPAX, but you got to remember that he delayed his tech massively. He went 3 gateways, warped in a lot of Adepts. His 3rd base is late. His economy sucks. He's going to go charge now. I mean, this just doesn't feel good for MAXPAX. It feels like he's behind. He's playing very aggressive openings, and BYUN's a little bit of a standard guy. I don't think you need to do anything too crazy here. I'd love to see just some 2-gate Blink Robo 3rd base builds. You know, get a Phoenix expand up. Show us some more standard play, because right now MAXPAX is trailing in this game, and things like this Adept drop have a lot of onus on them trying to do damage. MAXPAX flies in. He's spotted by these depots. He will get that 1 builder. Bob the Builder does get taken out on the left side. In this scenario, you'd love to shade out to the left, but looks like he's going to just try and get into the back of the base. Just a couple of those units being stimmed by BYUN, knowing that he wasn't really going to have a chance of killing it. But if he stims, he can chase him right out of there. Double Viking building. Even before third command center goes down. So BYUN, hoping that MAXPAX hangs around for too long that he can kill that. BYUN, always known for his crazy drop paths. I always talk about how he does these. MAXPAX, he's got great eyeballs. He notices that bit of movement on his minimap. He will lose the Stalker for it. So, not the worst trade for BYUN by any means. Medevac will go down. And look at that, he split fires. That was great micro by MAXPAX. He knew it was only one more Stalker to kill the Medevac, so he changed all the Stalkers to attack the Marauder and then quickly grabbed a Stalker and clicked it on the Medevac to confirm the kill. Adepts come in. Prism will go down. As long as he shift clicks on these SCVs, he at least gets a couple of workers there. And I think having killed the drop, he's okay with that. Units lost tab is dead even. And BYUN scans the third. He sees, hey, that's not even fully saturated. That's a little under. Well, it's about full now on the minerals. But the gases aren't taken as well, so I think BYUN feels okay about the economic spot. It's not like he's up against a Protoss who's already on 6 gases pumping out Colossus. This is a guy who's just making Zealots, Immortals, Sentries. He's got the a new Warp Prism for utility, but he's got a Sentry inside it right now. There is a lot of Force Field energy. They could be big. 3 siege tanks for BYUN. BYUN's playing his non-stop tank drop style, tank production style. No, he isn't. 3 siege tanks into what'll probably just be Bio Ghost. We don't see any sign of a reactor on that factory. Could build a reactor, prepare that. Even if you're not building Widow Mines, that's good for the starport. Zealots are going to kill a tank and a few of these SCVs. Ooh, I'd be happy with this trade, I think, as MAXPAX. Good repair, though. Good repair. That could have been worse. Units lost is better for BYUN there. Zealots try to come in, but you know he has 2 Vikings, and that one does prove to be a little bit of a maxi-taxi. It's shot down. MAXPAX taking some terrible trades. I mean, he's behind in this game. He's trying to smother BYUN. BYUN's the one smothering him, mate. You got no business being this aggressive in this game, MAXPAX. I know he's trying to make plays and find the openings, but he ain't finding jack right now. Cancels something there, builds a second Robo. He's got a Colossus on the way. Forge is going to get +1. Stalkers come forward, get a Marauder, a Marine, and another Marine. Well done. Good trade. But a Doom drop in the main base. Does have a nicely placed battery. Look at that. He's just going to wait for all of his units to come up here. This is bad for BYUN. BYUN needs to leave right now. This is a really bad fight for him. Because those Stalkers are going to blink in a moment. He's got to get out. And surprising that there wasn't a blink there. I thought he should have lost one of those medevacs. BYUN gets out of there. MAXPAX apparently not bothering to blink those Stalkers. Maybe tabbed to the wrong unit. Accidentally Guardian Shield instead of blink or something like that. 2 tanks still alive at the front. Going to anchor his defense in the future. He's going to scan one more time. He says, okay, there's no 4th base there. There's no 4th base here. 3 base versus 3 base. I feel pretty good about that. As a Terran player, if you're equal on bases with the Protoss, it's going better than you expect. Enhanced shockwaves. For those who don't know, we call that the radius of the sun upgrade. You might think it only increases the EMP rounds radius by 0.5. That doesn't sound a lot. The radius. Not the diameter, the radius, guys. Keep that in mind. It makes the EMP huge. Very, very good upgrade. Well worth getting. You see it almost every single game. I sometimes forget it all game. That's why I'm a noob. My ghosts are not BYUN's ghosts. Stalker's gonna run off to the left side. He's like, could you please put a Nexus down so I can kill it? MAXPAX at this point, I think he's considering building Stargates, guys. I actually would not be surprised to see a Stargate go down. Check this out. In the natural, he's going to go Stargate, Stargate Fleet Beacon, and he's going to try and play carriers. Now, MAXPAX, no, he's not. He's not. I'm saying it because, like, how many times have we seen MAXPAX make comebacks doing that from behind? He normally does that off single Robo, and he would do it much earlier. I don't think it's his plan this game. Oh, Observer does go down. Stalker's gonna maybe grab a Ghost, though. Ghosts don't have Cloak. Or Doomy Droppy. Doomy Droppy. Recoil is available. He's got the energy and everything else. Army in the middle, really bad for BYUN, though. He's outnumbered there. He lands sick enough EMPs, though, that he scares MAXPAX away. MAXPAX, once again, a little slow to blink. Might have got a volley off on those medevacs. 3 more barracks go down. That's going to be 8 barracks production. 2 reactors, 3 tech labs will become 6 tech labs in the near future. 4th command center's moving out. And as we said, reactor plus 2nd starport. That's a common thing to swap those on. Potentially a fusion core will be added in. We'll see. The upgrades, of course, very slow this game for BYUN. +1 armor, only halfway done. So he is trailing in the upgrades against MAXPAX. And MAXPAX is maxed out. He's also got a ball. It's only one. But even a single ball is scary. The Danish balls are known for their power. Dark Shrine, the Danish Dark Shrine as well. That's one of MAXPAX's best skills, right? The new age of Protoss players, if we think about them, are for the most part Dark Templar Masters. What do we see? A scan up there. I think he was hoping to get an observer. How many observers has he killed this game? 3. But in fact, the observer is down here, having a bit of a perv, seeing where he goes. 4 Colossus are out right now. 2 more disruptors being built at a time. Stalker's coming into the natural with a ball popping out. This could be a disaster for BYUN. But just a good pullback. Whoa! BYUN goes for a wild push, gets a Colossus. Got to watch out for those balls, but they fire kind of late. One of them does manage to land. He's still got 1 more ball in reserve. Watch out though, EMP is landing. Disruptor very vulnerable. Battery overcharge comes down, and he will heal up his army. Meanwhile, in the natural, looks like he was defended there. Units lost tab is in the favor of BYUN. BYUN has a 4th up. BYUN has moved his tanks down here to help anchor this position. Feels like this is the most likely area that he'll have to fall back to. Interesting the way he does that. I would be paranoid and put like a tank there and a tank there. But he tries to create more of a central area for control. Oh my god, that's a lot of zealots. 19 zealots moving down the right side of the map. Now, if you fight it with this army, you lose to those zealots unless you EMP, unless you stim, unless you stutter step, right? So that's the scary thing, is if you can pull BYUN's attention to the front, make him dodge some disruptors, those zealots move on the army and clean it up really well. So that's what you're looking for with MAXPAX, is you want to distract, you want to pull his attention, you want to run in and blink some DTs in, he's looking at that, and then bam, the balls fall on his face. So you never know which one is going to be the distraction and which one's going to be the big damage dealer. But it really is one of these things where it's like, hey, if the Terran can do everything perfectly, Terran is kind of overpowered, guys. You know, people complain about Protoss having all these tools, but the tools are trying to deal with the way that the Marine Marauder Ghost just smashes through so many different armies. Such a consistent composition. Look at the way he just focuses the disruptors down. One of them finally clips the units. Another ball fires from behind, but doesn't make it into range on the top, though. That's where a fight does go MAXPAX's way. The Stalkers and the Zealots jumping on top. But he's lost all of his Colossus to the Vikings, and that's why I'm totally okay with these trades. Also, if he jumped on this base and denied it, that'd be great, but MAXPAX, assuming his bases are all on the bottom, doesn't. If he kills this base, it would be massive. He's going to send a few Zealots there, so maybe he will end up getting it. Killing the Sensor Tower would be huge. Definitely opens up future attack angles. Right now, double disruptor production. 8 DTs coming in. They've got Shadow Stride. Shadow Stride, for those who don't know, is DT Blink. It is, in my mind, one of the most powerful upgrades in the entire game. Double disruptor shot, not quite able to finish the siege tank. That one tank still adding some damage. The planetary, if you enter into its range, will also help out. DTs on the right side say, no 5th base for you, dickhead. BYUN, of course, very frustrated by that, but pulls back on the right, a little on there a little bit. Army over there should be good. The EMPs and scans. DTs do die pretty quickly once they've been scanned. Remember, they only have 40 hit points, 80 shields. They are a glass cannon, the very definition of a glass cannon. The command center finishes building. Well done by BYUN. MAXPAX is in his face, but MAXPAX economy sucks balls, guys. I'd love to see MAXPAX add 10 probes and secure a 6th base right now. I kind of feel like as much as he's looking for good fights, he hasn't quite been able to crack through. Well, as I say it, maybe this is his moment. Big balls landing on BYUN's face, but his balls are empty. He's got to be cautious. Now's the time to pull back. DT's on the right have forced the left. They're going to start clearing the turrets and the depots. Falls back on the left, lets his balls reload, and what a quick reload time it is. It's good to be a young Protoss player, very virile. Stalkers, Disruptors looking potentially for the engage. It's just Ghosts. There's not much else there. Mass Repair will need to come in. Good Disruptor shots, and oh, the Ghosts! Hot pickup. He does do a very nice hot pickup, and the Liberators try to siege, but MAXPAX gets a snipe on the base, and that knocks BYUN back to 3 bases. This tries to land, but the DT is already coming back in. MAXPAX out multitasking BYUN right now. I was not expecting this. But wait, guys, BYUN is playing cross-server. Take your excuses and shove them up your ass, fanboys. It's played on the Western US server. This is the BYUN-favored server. MAXPAX has agreed to alternate maps. He could have forced every game to be on Central US if he wanted to. It's also a worse time of day for the Dane to be playing. No excuses, dickheads. They're both playing primo form, and this series could still go either way. A nice attempt to counterattack, but it's mostly mass ghost, and oh no, balls! Gets a good flanking ball shot. He's got some libs, but ooh, gets another Marauder with that one. DT does get pushed back by the Liberator. There's more DTs where that came from, though. And I think they will be blinking on the turret. One-shotting that and then forcing scans. Stalkers try to come forward. Some balls from behind. Balls from behind, not as strong as balls from in front, because you can retreat into the Protoss' economy. Those DTs do need to go in. You've got to put some pressure on him. He's going to go for the natural, but bad timing on it. BYUN's Marauders, well positioned. They're not being microed right now, but DT is very fragile, even though the DTs kill everything else. They get killed as well, and look at that. He's going to have to recall. Those Liberators zoning him so well. Now, BYUN is actually going to just EMP and focus down the Disruptors, and he kills them all! Oh my god, BYUN! He just holds its ground. I always run from the recall. I am a coward. BYUN is not. He says, you think you've got balls, just watch me. And in that 1 second where your units are frozen after the recall, everything gets EMP'd. BYUN targets the null down effectively. I mean, honestly, the analogy would be his opponent tries to do the Harker in front of him, and he quickly, swiftly kicks him in the nuts before he's finished his war dance. Well done by BYUN there. And despite all of that pressure, losing his base on the bottom, BYUN pushes forward with a mostly Ghost Liberator force, gets in between him and his bases, and we see that the Disruptors, when they're zoned out by the siege unit of the Terran and the Liberator, it's very hard. Making a much better showing of himself in that last game, this is Psystorm Gaming's MAXPAX. He's so sick, but unable to deal with his opponents so far in this series. He's been looking fantastic. Has been taking leads into the mid-game, though, by shutting down the Protoss aggression. Now opting for a double gas opening, Shopify Rebellion's BYUN. So he's going to be opening up on one base, a bit heavier. I think it's time for MAXPAX to take the back seat. Stop being so aggressive. Stop being so aggressive and expand up to the mid-game, maybe do a 4-gate blink opening or something like that. You can put some pressure on the mid-game, but MAXPAX's aggression has not found the mark just yet, so perhaps a switching of gears. Of course, it's kind of forced to be a switching of gears because he scouts the 2 gases. He knows the barracks is out here somewhere. You can see he's looking around. He's like, oh, where is it? He might check down here below the natural common spot for it to be hiding. And we do see that there is a Reaper on the way. Now, it was Cybercore into Nexus, so a pretty safe build for MAXPAX. Pylon goes down on 20 supply and then resumes probe production. I do think squeezing a probe in, then the pylon is better, but I've talked about this for a while. MAXPAX and Hero don't agree with me. They like their probe to go right back to mining. Fair enough. Stalker is on the way as well. Factory, it's about to finish up. That SCV, let me in! Let me in! Okay, guys, Eric Andre SCV is the one that's going to be building the command center. Good to know. I'm going to try and keep him selected for... I'll see if I can keep an eye on the Eric Andre SCV. We'll check in on what he's doing later in the game. And it looks like Widowmine's building, so probably just a starport build. Oh, sorry, guys. The Reaper did catch the probe scout, didn't it? Now, did MAXPAX actually see the barracks? He didn't. He just lost the probe on the way home. Not too bad. Big thanks, Viking Briggs, for the 2-month resub. Thank you for your Bezos bucks. And there's going to be a Stargate opening. Oracle into Blink is what I'd guess. It's a pretty sick build order, Oracle into Blink. Big thank you, Balbaroy, with the Prime Gaming. Filling up our sub goal. Thanks, guys. I think we might need a 4th pig. I'm going to split that off. I think we're going to have a bit more mitosis in the break. He's going to bounce himself across. He bounced the bot across. You guys see that? He tried to bounce himself across the gap. Instead, he bounced the cleaning bot across. Amazing gaming. Beyond there trying to get in for the scout. Now, he does see that there's a Phoenix building. He tries it again. Unable to pull that maneuver off. Phoenix should be able to just pick that up and let the Stalker kill it. Ugh, get back here. And the Stalker will clean the Reaper up. That does hold it for 8 seconds. 7 seconds, for those who don't know. Drops it as it dies. Didn't want to get any of that blood spray onto its little Phoenix wings. Fair enough. Hygiene's important, mate. A Widow Mine into a Cyclone and a Viking. The Starport now going to build a Tech Lab. Now, of course, we see a lot of people build Ravens in this scenario versus Phoenix recently, and sometimes even get amazing value out of those Ravens. I'm still a firm believer in the age-old logic that Phoenix absolutely hard counter Ravens, and Ravens are trash in this scenario. So I'm not a big fan of it, but we'll see exactly what BYUN goes for. He could keep microing that Stalker if he wanted to. I do like that he managed to get a kill there. Obviously, losing a Stalker was not great, but he got the Widow Mine, so at least he makes him pay. MAXPAX going Nexus into second and third gateway, so once again, one gate into third, and there is indeed a Raven. So why is the Raven so weak? So if you look at the Phoenix damage, guys, they do 2 10 damage attacks versus light units. Raven is light. So the Raven literally disappears to Phoenix attacks. It has 140 hit points, so it's going to take 7 Phoenix attacks. So if you have 4 Phoenix like this, they go pew pew, and Phoenix shoot really fast as well. It's going to take you 1.5 seconds to kill the Raven. It's not going to take you very long at all. Oh, they do actually have 1 base armor. I didn't know that. Still, I think it's the same number of attacks. Definitely 8 attacks will kill it. Maybe not 7, but 4 times 2. And here we go. If he just dives on that, he's going to kill it. Easy kill. Look at how quickly it dies. It's just such a freebie. Now the auto turret didn't even get down. Picks up the Cyclone. Kills that. Can kill the Phoenix as well. Gets it. And that's just such a good opening there. Bit of damage. Now, to be fair, BYUN made a big mistake. I've been ranting about Raven being bad in this scenario, and Terran players still doing it for a long time, but BYUN actually did that way worse. Normally the player would hide the Raven back here. They'd see the Phoenix come from the right, then they move it to the left. They see it come in the middle, they pull it back. That was uncharacteristic. That was a bit of a mistake from them. Phoenix there, come in, they pick up a few SCVs. The Nexus is up as well. We've got extra gateways going down in the main, so it's going to be 3 gateways. Plus 5 equals 8. Does like to get to his 8 gateway charge, doesn't he? He's already got 4 gases up, doesn't he? And he's building sentries. I think we're going to see very quick Archons coming in for MAXPAX. I wouldn't be surprised if he takes these gases as well. I'm more of a take a quick 4th base and saturate that mineral line fan, because I like A-move units. MAXPAX is a bit more of a masterful player who's going to be using force fields, Archons, kind of going up that tech tree a little bit more. Of course, he has still got probes building for now. You can see he's building a lot of pylons just as those gateways are coming in, guys. So 5 gateways, 4 pylons. So as your production ramps up, it's very important to really drastically improve the pylon production and boost that up, because you're going to be warping in 8 zealots at a time. Every 8 zealots you warp in, that's 2 pylons you need. So MAXPAX is going to start giving himself a much bigger gap in the supply to accommodate that increased zealot production. And the army is now moving out for BYUN. MAXPAX, oh, slow reaction. He's lucky to only lose 1 Phoenix. Oh, but then he dilly-dallies, does get acceleration going, gets it back up though. Sees the 3rd command center. It's not the most timely command center, not the latest. BYUN has messed up with his barracks placement, has to lift off one of these. Shows that maybe he's playing a little bit sloppily here. I think he was wanting that 3-0, and now very unlikely that he gets it in the next few minutes. I think this is a game where he needs to drag it out to win this game. He needs to play it a little bit slower and kind of slow things down. You see, there we go, look at that, cancels a reactor. He's going to lift those off. Now this does kind of wall off his mineral line from zealots on the front a little bit. Also creates some nasty choke points though, which if he's fighting against Colossus later, that'll be bad. It'll be good spots to fall back and hold these choke points versus enemy zealot Archon. Speaking of which, 14 zealots, 2 Archon, 6 Phoenix. 2nd Robo and a Forge are on the way though, and he's already up 12 workers, so I don't think MAXPAX feels like he needs to attack here. It's more that he's going to look to see what he can trade with. Get zealots in the mineral line there, while distracting at the front. You can see, yeah, he's going for a big spready, big aim. I always say come from multiple sides. MAXPAX, oh, he's a man after me own heart. He does just that, but BYUN slips away. Time to pull back MAXPAX. This is a bad fight now. Chases way too far, does MAXPAX. Oh, those force fields kind of cute, but he's got to get out of there. They're going to run out, and that means, yeah, these sentries are going to go down. And BYUN all day has been playing against non-Korean players who are trying to do this Zealot Phoenix swarm, and he's so good at realizing it's happening and just slipping away. And if you don't get surrounded, as long as you can stutter step backwards, the Zealots are trash. But if he got surrounded, if those Zealots weren't aggroed by the depot and they actually managed to like cut him off here, he would have been really screwed. He might have had to pick up his whole army and boost out of there, maybe abandon the 3rd base. As it is, he takes a good fight, slows MAXPAX down significantly. And even though I said MAXPAX was by no means all in, MAXPAX only now starts the 4th base. And yeah, he's got double upgrades. Yeah, he's going 2nd Robo and Robo Bay. But look at his army. It's kind of soft right now. Whereas that's a big, solid, scary army. That's a hard army. That's a turgid Terran force. Ghosts added in with the bio. 1-1 upgrades will tie up the upgrades for BYUN in the near future. He's only got 5 Barracks and a Ghost Academy, though. Doesn't have an army or a 2nd eBay. Yet another Phoenix goes down, and the Phoenix stage of this game is just done. So I think you're best off hiding the Phoenix off on the edge of the map, using it to just kind of spot drop rotations, and you're swapping into Stalkers for anti-air. Can't really build many of them right now, though. Oh, these batteries and cannons aren't ready. He's going to try and spread, because EMP is going to be devastating versus Sentry Immortal Archon army. Oh, and the Colossus aren't quite here yet. Look at that. No force fields, mate. Battery is there, though, maybe, but the battery goes down, and lots of valuable units going down for Protoss. That being said, big Zealot wave does come in, might be able to turn things around. BYUN, though, I mean, he's just fought at the perfect time. The perfect time, just before MAXPAX got this next round of units out. MAXPAX overcommitted to his Colossus Zealot Archon timing. Somehow this Colossus is still alive, but there we go. It does go down. Time to leave, BYUN. You stayed too long, mate. Oh, have you? Ghost Flank! A rallying Ghost Flank gets the other Colossus. You're kidding me. MAXPAX keeps his 4th alive, but he loses all the tech of his army. All the units that were going to make Colossus good just die. I mean, that's a disaster. And now BYUN is able to just rally across. MAXPAX had a much better early game this game, but you can see just going for those Zealot timing attacks. I think you've got to commit really hard to kill BYUN with them. If you just kind of go, oh, let's see what our Zealots can do. He shut down Trigger before this when he tried it in their game 3. He shut down MAXPAX attempt in game 3, even though MAXPAX felt like he was kind of in the lead. And now what do you got? 2 Colossus building, but they're nowhere near out. And you're hanging on for dear life. Against the Terran player, he's taking his 4th. He's going up to 8 Barracks. His armory is coming in as well right now. MAXPAX, I think, heaves a sigh of relief seeing this army return home. He's got to feel good about that. Gives him a chance to hang on, to regrow. I'd be going to Disruptors pretty quickly if I were him. Notice he's building an Immortal right now. I really would be like thinking about getting a Disruptor or 2 in the mix, but I think he just realizes he has so little meat in his army against a guy like BYUN. Disruptors are worthless until he has more actual fighting units. Second starport's coming down now for BYUN. He's building it on that reactor. He's going to use the factory just as a scout at this point, because Bio-Medevac will do it. Zealot gets a fresh mule. Nice micro on that one. BYUN does save that one. He's got 2-2 upgrades on the way. Now MAXPAX, he's got 2-2 with +3 on the way. So he is ahead on the upgrades, and he's got 4 bases saturated. So I don't think this is game over. And he's even starting 3-3. I don't think this is I don't think it's game over yet. I still think it's a scary moment in the game where BYUN is ahead in supply, but you've got to say there's no counter to the Colossus. There's 3 Colossus, no counter. At the same time, where's the core of the army for MAXPAX? Where is the Disruptors? He's got 14 Zealots. It's not the best force. He's looking at kind of skirmish with this, thinking about jumping on top and catching some of this army on the retreat. Marauders do find the proxy down there. BYUN tries to fight against the Zealot. Doesn't want to stand and fight with the Colossus, but he lands some EMPs and then backs off. Still just Stalker, Zealot, Colossus. That's a very basic army that MAXPAX is building. He's going to look to try and catch up BYUN split out on the map. But the thing is, BYUN knows what he's doing. BYUN's like, cool, you're just trying to kill me with Zealots and Stalkers and Colossus right now. He's going to regroup. And as he builds these 4 Vikings at a time, 2 cycles, and he's at 8 Vikings. Vikings don't take that long. Another 30 seconds, and he's going to be able to deal with the Colossus. MAXPAX says, screw it, I got him right now. I can kill him. I don't think he can. The numbers are not there for MAXPAX. He's going for Disruptors. He's adding a 5th base. I like the idea of chipping away at your opponent, but his Observer goes down. So only one of the Widow Mines falls. The other one's still standing there. The Vikings microing very well. And look at that. A big stim scares MAXPAX off. A wise pullback for the Protoss player. Now, 2-2 upgrades are going to tie up the upgrades for about a minute's time. And after that minute, 3-3 will kick in for MAXPAX. And that's when he'll be back in a double upgrade advantage. Zealots will perform fantastically versus Marauders in that scenario, being up 2 upgrades. But you've got to account for things like EMP. which knocking a third of the shields, third of the total hit point pool off the Zealots effectively is massive. 3-3 also starts immediately for BYUN. Fusion Core, 2 more command centers. The fact is, MAXPAX has made it to maxed out. He's made it to a pretty decent army. He's trying to add the last pieces of tech, but right now they're even on upgrades, and BYUN is going to make him fight. Nice pullbacks by MAXPAX. Ball gets 3 Marauders. Prism is out in the open. Another ball clips a big bunch of Marine Marauder. An accidental blink with these Stalkers on that side, though. Looks like a Colossus fell, but there's still 3 more Stalkers. Overall, a good defense for MAXPAX. Remember, that was right when the upgrades were even. It was a scary moment. He scans, makes sure there's no observer here, but the Zealot sees this drop moving down the right side, and these are the moments where MAXPAX wants to dive on him. Remember, MAXPAX is trying to use his vision advantage, jump on half the army, kill it, and then recall and kill the other half the army. That's his kind of game plan right now. That's why he's so Zealot Stalker heavy, but BYUN aware of it, and balls go out. BYUN only loses 1 Marauder, not too bad. He's cleaning up the map vision, which is very important. In this stage of the game, you've got to just run around with Bio, clearing up these spotting units all over the map, and that's going to open up your ability to drop later in the game. Not that he needs to, because he's going advanced ballistics, and if you can get libs out with advanced ballistics, that's the Liberator range, gives you 8 range on those Liberator sieges. You can outrange the Colossus and the Disruptors. You actually out-siege the guy who kind of has the better siege units in the form of those Disruptors right now. That's where things turn around. You've also got to look at this as a very frustrating position for MAXPAX because he doesn't have any forward warp-in points. Ooh, gets a full dropship. Very nice. But as I was saying, no forward warp-in areas. This is his closest, the Prism there, and no big squads of Dark Templar. So there's no base sniping going on. It's all BYUN attacking, and MAXPAX just trying to survive. He has to cancel his middle base. And here we go. Like, yeah, that's what he's desperate for. Now, no Widow Mines. Planetary, but also no Widow Mines, so not a lot of defense. Maxed out Terran player with very little defense against Dark Templar backstabs. He's going to go Rapid Reignition System. That's right, the Medevac boost upgrade. Reduces the cooldown of Medevac boost by 5 seconds and increases the movement speed of Medevacs. Now, I think it only increases the movement speed while they're boosted. I'm going to double check. 3.5 right now. So we'll confirm that. That tooltip's written a bit weirdly. DTs do get in there. EMP on them. And the DTs, one of them trades for the Ghost. And this Dark Templar will kill a few SCVs. At least he's kind of forcing a response. Prism will go down though. Oh, looks like he got a reactor in the main base. That's annoying. Army on the right side. He's going to try and use the positioning. 27 Blink Stalkers though. Blink Stalkers a very bad unit for this stage of the game, but oh my god, Command Center in the open. BYUN's whole army got pulled back by a small Dark Templar drop. He does dodge the Disruptors though. The Liberator's doing some work. This is only a small section of BYUN's army, but he's coming around the left side with a much bigger section of army, guys. Oh, this is actually massive. Disruptors are starting to land though. Great covering of his retreat, but his balls are empty right now. Oh man, his balls are empty, and when your balls are empty, it ain't a good time for those Disruptors. They are ready to fire one more time. Stalkers aren't the greatest fighting unit, but with the Zealots coming in as well, MAXPAX has done it. Oh my god, and that is actually huge. This is awesome. MAXPAX is keeping himself alive in this series, and that keeps me very excited. I'm cheering for him right now. Not because I'm cheering for him overall necessarily, but just because I want to see another game between these two. It's been so action-packed so far. And it would be really cool to see if MAXPAX could bring himself back into this after losing his whole army and having to rebuild his tech from scratch early on. By the way, guys, we've confirmed Medevacs do go from 3.15 to 4.13 once you get the Rapid Reignition System. I did not know that. I thought it only made the boost better. That's really cool. So the Medevacs are just as standard faster unit now, which is very interesting. So very cute upgrade. Of course, it's a Fusion Core expensive upgrade, only something for super late game. Nonetheless, DT's coming in, finding some damage. This small army on the right side, this is MAXPAX. He is right now puffing up his chest and being very frightening with a small set of units, and it's because the DTs are forcing such a response on the other side. Get out of there. Oh, he goes for it. He goes for broke. That's one of the most frustrating things to face as a Terran, where he just gets on you when you're not looking. The DTs are so fragile, but because he's distracted by this small army on the right side, where, like I said, MAXPAX was puffing his chest out with that, MAXPAX forces his attention there, and just a second of delay for BYUN on the left side, and his bio gets slashed by the Dark Templar. MAXPAX keeps himself alive in the series. Alright guys, he's back there in the series. He's still got to win this game and the next one to bring it back. But I am a little bit of a believer. Storm Gaming's MAXPAX. In the bottom right here, doing a pretty standard opening so far, nothing special. Opponent in the top left, BYUN, going Barracks Gas, so no more of that early kind of one-basey play this time around. Now, we've seen a lot of 3-gate openings out of MAXPAX without even using a forward warp-in pile, and that's been really interesting. If he's just loving that build order right now, he very well may bring it out on Curious Minds, just because it's such a small map. You warp in on a pylon on the front, you shade adepts across the map, they'll get there pretty fast. For me, it doesn't feel like a good choice. It feels like a bad choice, just because BYUN's held it very effectively so far, and he's held most of the early aggression. But MAXPAX, he's starting off with a Zealot, guys. Now, does he continue to commit to the Zealot? Or is this something he's looking to maybe cancel? He's going double gas. Oh, he's going proxy Void Ray, is he? Or some sort of proxy. He's going to go proxy down here. Oh, MAXPAX is going to get highly aggressive in this game. Tapping out.
Thanks for the Bezos
One moment.
box.
We need to go back to the StarCraft soundtrack. Age of Empires music does not fit a Void Ray cheese. Not that I know this is Void Rays. This might not be Void Rays, guys. Let's get back into it. There we go. Oh, what's it going to be? Stalker starts up. Stalker Stargate. Does delay Warp Gate for now. Does he start Warp Gate up next, though? Or does he just skip it entirely? That's a very fast Stargate, by the way, guys. Went down about 1:55. Not the fastest possible, but close to. And BYUN, he skipped scouting this game. We talked earlier today about how he likes to skip scouting. Well, he's going 3 racks, which gives you a lot of raw material. If MAXPAX blunders a little bit, there is a chance for BYUN to still win here in this scenario. Look at that. 2 Marines come down. The Zealot's like, hey, dickheads, you want to have a fight? Doesn't want to chase inside, though, because he knows he could get trapped by the depot raise. Just wants to delay this command center as much as possible. And for now, doesn't want to throw the units away. Bunker's going to try to go down at the front of the base, but BYUN has no idea that this is a 1-base all-in behind this. He does not know that there's already a Void Ray in production. Yes, that pylon's going to go down, but look at this. He's already preparing for the shield batteries on the low ground. MAXPAX is like, dude, you can secure this natural all you want, but if you do that, I'll just bust the reactor, bust the top of the ramp, and then when you go up there to defend, then I'll bust your natural. So this is actually, I think, really good for MAXPAX, who's now making Warp Gate and a Stalker. I think he's planning an all-in. So I think he'll build a few batteries, keep building Void Rays, and then he'll build a gateway here and actually go really hard on the aggression. That's my bet. Hero used to do this a lot. We have seen MAXPAX do it. It's not too common at the moment, this build order, but good to see MAXPAX still keeping himself in practice with these highly aggressive builds. Doesn't want to chase too deep against those Marines, as we see. Going to go for the depots before the reactor. That's interesting. I always see reactors as the juiciest target, but look at that, guys. Stim and shields is on the way. Stim Marines, if they get to a decent number, can hold this. It's a big if, though. An extra probe building as well. MAXPAX realizing, hey, I never finished saturating my minerals. I better do that. Thank you, guys, for the subs. Thank you for the support. Appreciate that. Big shout-outs coming momentarily. Reactor goes down, and a little too slow to build these extra depots in the back of his base. BYUN making an uncharacteristic mistake there. First thing you do when you realize this rush is happening is build those depots in the back, but he was a little slow on it, and it does hold up his Marine production. And of course, every Marine you lose is huge here as well. So notice, even just fighting the Void Rays is not good for him. Stalkers and the Zealots there. There are 5 Marines on the natural. That depot goes down as well. But BYUN, he's frantically building lots of depots, doing supply block drops as well. But SCV's pulling a repair. I don't think you can take this out as MAXPAX. I don't think you can take this out even with the Zealot and the Stalkers focusing down. He loses a Stalker there. Doesn't lose anything else, really. The Void Rays need to keep fighting the Marines, though. Definitely needs to keep fighting the Marines and just picking them off. That's not enough Marines to really fight. He should just fight. Honestly, you just A-move your Void Rays and pull back the weak one. Yeah, this is really bad for BYUN because he needs to defend his add-ons. He really cannot fight against 3 Void Rays. Stim's going to kick in, as will Shields in a moment. I think MAXPAX may have taken too long to trade in this game. Oh, his Void Rays are really wounded right now. He's got to top them up. Get those heals going, mate. Get those heals going. He has not healed them up yet. Lots of gateways are coming in. It's going to be just mass gateway units from here. He stopped building Void Rays as his 4th one rallies in. He will activate Prismatic Alignment, though. And he's going to Guardian Shield as well, potentially. He doesn't actually have Guardian Shield. Use the Force Field just to interrupt a bit of the repair. And he does bust the bunker. He's going to come forward from there. The Void Rays going to be able to kind of use this piece of terrain to try and evade these Marines. If he could bait a Stim out of BYUN, he'll just evacuate. The Stim comes in, and he does pull back with the Void Rays. The Stalkers should probably fall back a little quicker as well. The Stim will not last forever. You can see the Marines there. That Stim is unhealable. And MAXPAX, every time he baits his Stim out, it is a huge victory for him. BYUN playing a blind 3-racks, a little bit greedy this deep in the series. And it's giving MAXPAX an opportunity to get back in it. You've got to scout versus this cheeky bugger. I said back off the aggression, it's not working. MAXPAX went back to the most straightforward aggression, the proxy Void Ray. And look at the way he pulls back, doesn't lose any of the Void Rays. The SCVs are there, the Marines have run out of stim packs, they're out of drugs, and like a bunch of meth heads scratching furiously at their arms and kind of getting a little bit shaky. They end up just throwing in the towel, walking off the job and saying, screw this, Curious Minds suck, let's go to game 5. Alright guys, it is 2 maps apiece. In the top right, Psystorm Gaming's MAXPAX. His opponent in the bottom left side, Shopify Rebellion's BYUN. BYUN looks like he's not proxying this game. MAXPAX also just going for a standard gateway scout by the looks of it. Very nice. Barracks gas. So we expect him to scout with his 18th SCV. So this SCV that he's building now, notice how he changes the rally point. So he's going to rally that across the map, and then he's going to change the rally point back over. He's going to manually pull 2 workers off probably the middle patches onto the gas. Let's see which workers he chooses. And he pulls 2 off. Yeah, they were off this patch and this patch. So notice he didn't pull them off the close patches because he wants the workers to be mining there at 100% efficiency. Probe comes in for a bit of harassment. I see a big bit of support. We're going to have to get excited. Bug splatter. Why are you making weird noises like that? I don't even know. I've never done that one before. That was weird. I just made moaning noise. Thank you, Bug Splatter, for the love. Gonna give you some big props after this game. Slap your bacon in chat, guys, if you're watching live, to say thank you. Okay, so there we go. Looks like Command Center on the low ground. It is reactor first. MAXPAX doesn't know about this. And if he harasses the SCV on the natural, he could find out. Just goes up the ramp, though. Great scout. So reactor first means you're going to have a lot more Marines pumping out early on. You can see the chunks that were just flying there were from a mule, which broke apart. Mules do, of course, have a timed life, and they do just kind of fall apart at a certain point of time. Got the SCV there as well. Probe on the right side. Just hiding for now. Double Reaper. Oh, the Double Reaper first. And do we see 3 racks, right? At least a second barracks. He could do the 2 barracks factory. It's more in vogue these days. Just the fact that there's so many different variations makes it harder for the Protoss player to put you in a box. Of course, with the 3 racks, it takes so long to get that info up. Oh, DT rush, right? I think. I mean, otherwise, I don't think there's a reason to build the pylon quite so early. The Adept comes in. Reapers move out. There isn't... Oh, man. Looks like the Command Center should finish just in time. There's only 1 Adept at home right now. No extra unit building. He builds a DT shrine at the proxy. What an odd position. But I guess that makes sense. These Reapers could kill a lot. The Adept is out of position on the natural, guys. Far left of the screen. Quick response by MAXPAX. But he's already lost 1 probe. And going to be at least 3 or 4. Oof, this is great damage. Great damage by BYUN. Now, I don't know if he can... Oh, he's not even going to try to get out. He's like, screw it. Just shift-click the probes, bro. Oh, if he gets 1 more and gets a Reaper out. No way. He didn't even want to get that Reaper out. He kills 6 probes. Now, Blink was not upgrading. If he noticed that and dropped an engineering bay, he'd be good. He didn't notice it. He didn't notice it. Uh-oh. You need to drop an engineering bay in the next 10 seconds, mate. 10 seconds, maybe 20 seconds latest. But yeah, if he doesn't drop it soon, he's in trouble. I mean, normally you want an engineering bay with the 3 racks, but most players these days go factory, then engineering bay. Do they? Actually, I'm not sure if that's right. I know they go later than me. I'm not sure how late. Oh, the probe does block the scout. He gets in there. Blink is now started up, but... Oh, no engineering bay. And he drops a mule! Okay, that means he's got 0 energy on the main orbital, so it's ages till he gets another scan. He's got 1 scan coming up right around the time the first DT comes in. Engineering bay does start up, so I think he can be okay. BYUN could defend this all right if he doesn't let a DT into his main. But if that DT manages to get past onto his main, let's go BYUN's vision. We're on BYUN's camera. We're on BYUN's camera, guys. He sees it. He sees it. And he's good. He is completely fine. Notice he scares the Dark Templar away. MAXPAX finally commits, baits the scan out. If he did that earlier, this DT would have had a bit more of a window to go in. There we go. He wants to run in and kill some stuff, but he's not going to get much because that turret's going to be done in 8 seconds. So he's like, let me at him. Notice the Marines are not letting him at the SCVs here. So he does kill a few Marines here, which is not bad damage by any means, but losing 2 DTs does cost you money, mate. And scan comes up. It's going to repair that one. And the DTs did not find the mark. This is game 5. MAXPAX is up 5 workers, though. He's going to try and drop a 3rd Nexus. And he's got Blink to zone, Blink to control the map. I kind of feel like this is a scenario where you'd be better off taking a corner base and just hiding. Because this 3-racks push is so scary. Like, he's like, I know you spent all your money on Dark Templar. They didn't kill me. I'm going to push you now. And he's saving energy. He's not dropping mules. Now, BYUN has misrallied his command centers there a little bit. He does need to fix that one. He's misclicked it over there. Stalkers are going to try and defend. He's got 2 batteries, sending a probe out to that left side of the map. MAXPAX at least realizes he can't build a 3rd on location, but yeah, I really think just taking a corner base would be so sick at this stage, even though it's a big gamble. That being said, batteries are up, guys. He's done a real good job to defend. Oh, he should have fought in front of that battery for sure. That was a big mistake for MAXPAX. If he fought out here and activated overcharge, then BYUN would not have been able to do much there. As it is, BYUN's going to get at least 4 or 5 probes on top of those Stalker kills. And what's he get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 probes. And he got 4 Stalkers. I mean, a lot of bio died, but 3rd command center does now start. And that's before the 3rd Nexus starts. Who's building this? This guy. Okay. He still hasn't fixed his command center rally point, guys. It's a big mistake for BYUN. He keeps ending up with these workers. Finally, he realizes, fixes that one up. And the Marine finds that out there. If he could move out and clear up those buildings, that'd be very huge. Medevacs are on the field now. MAXPAX clicks a Marauder. Doesn't quite get it. 3rd base is on the way for him. It's going to be Stalkers and Colossus. Really great units. Not the best comeback units in my opinion, though. It really relies on you getting just the right engagements. And another pylon going down here. That's not good at all. Stalkers go after the Medevac. Oh, hot pickup. An accidental hot pickup. That's the hottest of pickups. He picked up the very safe bio units into the very damaged Medevac just with a misclick. There is a Marine behind the 3rd. That's going to make you feel real comfortable as BYUN right now. Everything has been going his way here in game 5. He's managed to shut things down from early on. The Reaper's got a lot of kills. Finally, MAXPAX gets a free unit kill there using his micro. Picks off the Medevac. He's going for charge, Colossus range. So on 4 gateways, as his 3rd and 4th warp gate will be coming in. But 4th and 5th barracks already up. So BYUN's up to full 2-base production. Whereas the gateways 5 to 8 have not even started for MAXPAX. He's going to try and just get away with pumping out Colossus and Zealots off 4 gateways. Ooh, gets a Medevac, but he's going to lose a lot of Stalkers for that. That's not cheap. No concussive shells. So 2 Stalkers. Blink, 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 blink. Looks like just 2 Stalkers. That probe could have evacuated if he microed it, but MAXPAX has got a lot of things to do at home right now. He realizes he needs to just kind of do his macro just right. He can't overcommit to it. He's got to try and find a moment to squeeze some gateways in. Dark Templar runs in, kills an SCV, gets a scan out of the Terran. Remember, that's 225 minerals of opportunity cost. It's not free for them to use those scans. It does cost them 225 minerals over the next 70 seconds. So it is impactful over a big enough time period. Right now, though, there's very few Zealots and there's very little gateway production. I see this as a scary army, and I don't think that's going to get any less scary. I really want to see a 5th and 6th gateway for MAXPAX very soon. He's kind of stuck on Australia levels of production. Just 4 gateways only. But good vision. Pylons, observers. Drop will pick up. Stalker's going to go forward. MAXPAX at least spots that the army is sieged up there. Keeps track of it. BYUN's now going to shove forward. Try and get those tanks in position. Tanks aren't in range of the Nexus. And with the Colossus here, you can't really get in. Look at that. Uh-oh. Oh, he's got a shield battery, though, he does, MAXPAX. Battery overcharge comes in. He's only got a few gateways, though. Oh, I think with the battery overcharge, it might just be enough. Ooh, Colossus doing good. Good fight for MAXPAX. I think he's defended really well. That could have been much worse. He blinks forward. Clean up those Marauders as well. Very, very good defense by MAXPAX. He's holding the line as best he can. Unfortunately for him, there's very little pressure on BYUN to break him because he's got the Ghost Academy, the 3rd base, full of workers. Now, there is only 1-1 upgrades, no armory just yet. I do wish some of these turns would squeeze the armory out faster to increment the upgrades just one at a time. But you know what? Good micro by BYUN. Even though this gets hunted down, kills a bunch of stalkers. And you can see in the units lost tab, he's happy to take these trades. He's already ahead economically. Happy to take those trades. 1 tank gets left behind. That's a little bit awkward. More tanks are building. There's 3 tanks out right now. We've got more stalkers on the way. He's going to go for a big doom drop out the right side. 0 map vision, but also 0 fucks given by BYUN. We've talked about his amazing, just wild, crazy drop paths that he's always looking for. Always looking for just like, yeah, I'll just pick up and just boost out and see what happens. MAXPAX trying to make the second Robo and the DT Shrine. Part of me wishes he'd try that silly 3-base carrier stuff that he does. But it looks like he's decided not to try it out today at all. Stalkers there. Cannon and a battery will help anchor that position. It's a 4 drop. He's going to need more stalkers in the main. 8 stalkers. You want to have at least 9 so you can one-shot the medevacs as they come in. Then you can kill 1 before it unloads and a second one before many units get out. That's the secret. A couple zealots coming in. If they rally into the mineral line, the tanks will do a lot of friendly fire, so I wouldn't mind that. He's going to go for the 4 zealot drop in the main and the zealots on the left, and surprisingly, BYUN has not protected himself against this. Oh, the tanks did unsiege. I actually think that's good for BYUN. Tanks unsieged. Zealots are going to drop in the main base as well. Get out of there, Prism. So a few SCVs go down. Vikings should be able to get the Prism, though. And if he chases, they will. Zealots are killing quite a few SCVs. A Ghost goes down in the main as well. Army moving forward there. The Stalker Zealot does need to come down from the main or you're going to get trapped in a sandwich. Army on the left side's coming in. Ball! BYUN does get 2 Marauders taken out. A very good zoning ball. Notice MAXPAX threw that very early so that it would make it so he could not engage. The Prism escaped on the left. MAXPAX is hanging on for dear life. He's not letting himself get taken out of this game. Is BYUN taking too long? Part of me feels like BYUN's taking too long because the second eBay Armory only now goes down. His 4th command center is not especially fast. His worker count's not great. He's got a giant army, but there are disruptors out. There's only 4 siege tanks. I mean, the problem is if MAXPAX lets those tanks get sieged up in a good spot, he's in trouble. Right now, though, he's got a really good spread of units. These drops might dodge his observer, though. He's moved his observer a bit to the left, and that might be a very bad timing to have done it. Sees the medevacs, though. He should be ready. MAXPAX warping in more stalkers. He's got 10 stalkers. It's enough to one-shot. And look at this. Disruptor zoning. Drop goes in. Stalker's in position. BYUN, though, with a quick turnaround, does not throw his army away. Well done by BYUN. Tanks are going to shuffle forward. MAXPAX has no way of knowing when he's doing that, and so misses the opportunity to fight that. He's got very few zealots here. And look at that. Those tanks, very scary. Ooh, this is not good. Great tank volleys. MAXPAX unable to get a 4th base right now. DT runs in and kills a few SCVs. BYUN, though, focusing on what he needs to right now. Starting to chip away at this area. Those rocks going down might actually help MAXPAX a little bit. He's got DT Blink almost finished. Another DT goes in. 10 more SCVs go down. But remember, BYUN has more money. Another Marauder gets picked off there. The Bio going to split up the top with 2 medevacs ready to evacuate them. Going to force MAXPAX workers off this base. Or force MAXPAX to take the fight. MAXPAX does not want to attack into 4 sieged tanks, because they can take care of disruptors, Colossus, all that sort of stuff very quickly. Tries to go forward. The DTs are trying to engage, but uh-oh, Blink is not ready on those just yet. Loses some of them. If he can blink on the tanks and just get rid of those really quickly, he'll be happy to take the fight. That is a big if, though. It's a big if. Colossus taking big damage. Oh, no! The Bio gets his Dark Templar. MAXPAX getting picked apart here. I thought he'd find a way back into it, but BYUN, so patient, just seems to be finding the openings. And it's MAXPAX who seems to just be getting edged out of this game, slowly choked out. He's trying to get BYUN to get over eager. Does get 1 big disruptor shot. So far, though, on the balance of all the engagements together, it has not been an over-eager engagement. Now, BYUN looks like just a handful of units left here, so that was a little bit sloppy, but he saves the Bio at the very least. And he should have a giant army that's built behind this. He's already got 4 libs building at a time. Hasn't started his 2-2 upgrades or anything. He's got a fusion core. Does feel like, where's the 2-2? Where is the lib range as well? Oh, great double drop run by. Goes around the army. MAXPAX wants to counterattack right now. You can see he's got these DTs in here as a combat unit right now. Trying to use those just as part of his army. MAXPAX is kind of saying, I'm just going to max out and kill you with my army. He's saying, look, I don't think I can do this any other way. That drop back there being a very big nuisance for him. Zealot drop's going to come into the main base. That drop was just going to come right back in. No, it's going to F2 home by the looks of it. And it might even make it there. And Zealots and DTs in the main base going to try and pull the army back, and then his army's going to thrust the front. MAXPAX getting ready for one big last-ditch effort. He's down to 42 probes versus 66 SCVs, 3 base versus 4. Terran has everything right now. He's got this map on lockdown. He's got the economy. He's got a bigger force on the map as well. MAXPAX, though, has some big explosions available. If he can land them just right, there's always hope. Does get in here, isolates the 4th base. That could be the move that he was waiting for. Planetary unable to be defended by BYUN. That goes down. Now, does that give MAXPAX hope for a long game? We'll know if MAXPAX decides to play a longer game when he starts building probes and a 4th base. If he doesn't start building that, we know that he's still all in. And right now, it feels like he's still trying to force the issue. He's still trying to force it. He's making Dark Templar. He's not investing in anything but army. He's saying, no, it's going to take me way too long to recover economically. I can't do it, man. He's just saying, look, I can't do it. Tries to bait the Marauders into the Disruptors. Gets a few decent hits, but does lose some stuff. The DT's going back into the main, get some SCVs as well. The army's still looking rather large for MAXPAX, but definitely engaging into libs, something he can't do very much of. Disruptors landing some very big hits all over this army. Oh, the DT's blink back, barely dodging his own disruptor shot. BYUN is eating some giant balls right now. I gotta tell you guys, there's a lot of different diets out there, but I think BYUN might be making the mistake a lot of people do when they go keto. They go, nuts are basically vegetables, right? You can just eat as many as you want. No, too many nuts will make you bloated, mate. There's carbs in them, there's fat, there's protein, they're great food source, but they've actually got a lot of energy. You can't eat too many of those, and he just ate a whole shitload of nuts. He's got scraps and nuts and little bits of salt dust all over his chin, and that's giving MAXPAX hope in this game. MAXPAX still has a very fragile army. Look at how wounded it is. That tank gets a shot off, and it bruises the whole force. MAXPAX takes a 4th. He's built a few more probes. I think he's thinking about it at this point. I think MAXPAX is saying, you know what? My army's so bruised, I've got to play it defensively. I've got a big ball of splash. I've got DTs ready. I want to see probes queue up. I want to see these probes transfer out of these bases that are almost mined out. And he also needs to take a 5th. A problem for him is these 4 Liberators. MAXPAX! Balls! Oh, doesn't quite. BYUN with some very sexy dodges, but still takes a few big hits. The Liberators all siege up and 7 probes go down. 4 Liberators on 1 base. That's a Florencio Liberator siege, guys. 4 libs doing what 1 lib could have achieved. Very cute. Very hard to engage, though, with only Stalkers, right? If you've got 4 libs sieged up, you need a shit ton of Stalkers to blink on that and take a decent trade. Like a shitload. You can't do it with just a couple. At the moment, he's waiting out of vision, hoping BYUN will unsiege, and he'll catch him on the unsiege. Unable to do it just yet. BYUN, honestly, he's finally remembered lib range. He's got 2-1 upgrades, but he's forgotten his armor completely. Another Liberator comes in from the right. Another 6 probes go down. This is costing MAXPAX. It's costing him a lot. And I think he's got to put a few more Stalkers on the defense. Because these Liberators, big problem for him right now. Very big problem. He's trying to push on the front instead of defending. And he is getting some good disruptor shots. It's just a frightening moment in this game, isn't it? Another disruptor goes down. Another disruptor falls as well. And only 1 Marauder in answer for it. Great micro by BYUN. The Liberator's denying that base. 1 full mining base for MAXPAX. No minerals left on the natural. He's got to do something about this. But without a Stargate, what can he do? Unless he gets like... If you have 10 Stalkers, you can blink in there. 3-4 Stalkers can't do it. Even with battery overcharge, those Liberators will 3-shot you. So this is a really hard position to be in for MAXPAX right now. Okay, be careful, mate. Ooh, okay. Disruptor shots coming forward. Gets quite a few of these Marauders, but loses a bunch of his important units. He's down to just 2 Disruptors. Those balls looking very fragile. Looks like MAXPAX very young to have gone in for a vasectomy, but looking at the state of his balls after this, it definitely feels like that's where he's come from, and maybe a botched one at that. Might need to go in for the re-up on it as well. Anyways, Liberators are now hanging on. There's almost no bio behind it. Guys, there's like 4 Marauders left on this map. There's like 4 Marauders. He's got nothing but libs. He's got no bio units. What's he got? No way. MAXPAX has done it. Denying the 4th. BYUN just had so little mining this whole time. I kind of wasn't even looking at it. I just assumed he had at least like 1,000 minerals a minute coming in. He does now, but that's just off the back of those 3 mules. And losing this base, that's GG. No way. MAXPAX fights his way back into this game. Kills the fourth. The Libs are going to come over there. The Stalkers intercept him, though. And he can warp in Stalkers on the high ground as well. He's got the vision there. The Libs are going to try and abuse this area, but you can get him from here, I believe. And Stalkers... No, he's going to have to go to the high ground up there. At the front, though, what do you got? 10 Marauders are now out. Looks like a full round of Marauders just came out, but Medevacs are dying. The Stalker Colossus having a bit of a party. The SCV's pulled in, but there's Zealots coming to tank, and that is going to be that. MAXPAX, with an incredible comeback, just goes so hard across the map, and he just doesn't focus on his economy at all. And look at those last few minutes of that game, because he baited BYUN into some big disruptors, and I mean, BYUN was in such a big lead at these stages, right? But then once the fourth base went down, and he's just great disruptor shots, and BYUN kept fighting into them despite having Mass Liberator out. He took so long to get advanced ballistics, and you know, it felt like he really struggled. He wasn't able to land this base up here, so he just went, oh, and then he pulled back, and he couldn't decide which base he wanted to take. So if we look at the income during this whole period, he's often at only 900 minerals a minute, and obviously right now there's no income, but as soon as he's got a base mining, it's like, hey, it's pretty similar income for both players, and it looks like there was just too much of catching BYUN unsieged and catching him kind of running forwards into the Colossus disruptor shots. I think there was a bit too much of the running in and out, and I think in hindsight, BYUN should have kept more Libs at home to just zone out and siege things up, should have got advanced ballistics earlier, and maybe just snuck a few Marines and Marauders across. I think sneaking some drops around the map would have been more effective than using, you know, so many Liberators just to deny a few mineral patches. As it is, though, fantastic play by MAXPAX to resurrect himself in this game, in this series, and he goes on to the grand finals. Bloody well played.